My name is Blair, and I'm here today to read a few stories by W.G. Little, taken from Robin's Readings, concerning the adventures of Paddy McQuillan. His first story, his Christmas Day. Yen Christmas Day I thought I would go to Belfast and spend a few hours there. I'd never seen the place, and I had been saving up all my hippies for a good while, so that I'd be able to enjoy myself. I put on my new clothes and I started for the train. I saw nobody that I kenned until I got to Belfast. Wayne's dear, it's a big town that, and an awful big place for spending money. You'd hardly get o'er the long brig before laying out a sixpence. When I got out at the station house and saw the crowds of folk running this road and the other road, I got that scared for fear of losing myself, that I had a notion of lying down behind the station house till the train would be ready to burn me back home again. Whoever, I plucked up heart, I went out to the front door. I seen something that pleased me. I'm sure there wasn't less nor 20 horses and jaunting cars. Some of them was burning away with folk on them, and others were standing waiting. I was a wild fond of horses, so I stood looking at them and admiring them. Behold ye, I hadn't stood glaring very long, till the other drivers nodded at me and laughed. I laughed back at him. "A Merry Christmas to ye," says he. "The same to you, sir," says I, wondering, and me and mine, how he kent me. "Did your mother know you're it?" says he. "Oh, did she does," says I. "I hope she's in good health," says he. "Pretty middling, sir," says I, "except that now and then she is bored with the rheumatics." "Will you take a drive?" says he, rubbing the dust off the cushions for fear they'd dirty my new clothes. "Oh, thank you, sir," says I. "It would be muckle trouble, and I'm well used to travelling." "Jump on," says he. "There's no every day you get a drive, and Christmas only comes once a year." So I got on his car. "Where to?" says he. "Oh, just whatever road you're going yourself," says I. "I'm no way particular. They let me take you off your own road." "Well," says he, "the shops are all closed up and the town looks like a Sunday. But if you like, I'll take you to see the college and the theatre and some other big buildings." "Whatever you like, sir," says I. "I was never here afore." I thought I saw the chap laughing 20 times, till he had to wipe the water that it was in. But then he would say something funny, either to me or to the horse, that made us all laugh. Says I as we went along, "Sir, what's the meaning of them rails laid through the streets? They just look like railroads." "Oh, indeed," says he, shaking his head. "There shouldn't be any work for the like of me, for the trains from Newton and Bangor and Donaghadee and other places will soon be coming running into the town and dropping the folk wherever they want to stop." Poor fella. I thought a pity of him. I'm sure he was roaring, for he put his handkerchief up to his face, and when he took it down again, it was like to burst, it was that red. "And I suppose you have a wife and family," says I. "Ah, did I hae," says he. "And it's no easy providing for them." "Aye, man dear, it's her ocht, who muckle weans can eat," says I. "You would say that," says he, "if you'd seen him at the breakfast this morning afore I come out." "How many hae ye?" says I. "The baker's dozen," says he. "And when their man and me sits down with them, that makes 15 at the table." "Well, it's a sicht to see 15 eyes playing dab at the yin print of butter. Och, it's no long until they're out of sicht, I can tell you. The dear man that baits och," says I. "You had a big day with the Freemasons a while back," says he. "Man, we had that," says I. "It's a nice confederation, and I had a great notion of joining them, until there's a grand thing to be a missing." "Oh, you'd better believe it," says he, winking at me and laughing. "When you're a missing, you can gang wherever you like, and get whatever you want for nothing," says he. Do you tell me that, says I. Sang I would like to ken some of them. I believe the ticket clerk at our railway station is a mason. Well, says he, if you had throwed him the sign, he might have given you a free ticket. Man, says I wish I'd kenned that. I suppose you daren't show me the sign. No, I dare no, says he. But if you really mean to join the Masons, you might try the plan that I'm going to describe. I'll be forever obliged to you, says I. And I'll gang nae further, you may depend on it. Well, says he, on account of the family you belong to, I'll trust you, and I'll show you where the lodge meets. And what's your plan, says I. Take your right knee, says he, and hit the door 6 times as hard as you're able. If they didn't open it, take your other knee and hit the door 6 times. Then if a man opens it and asks us what you want, do this, and he laid to his whip, and put his left hand on the top of his head, and grip the point of his nose with the other hand. He made me do that after him. Then, says he, you may be asked what you want. And what will I say or do, says I. Just reverse the sign, says he. Put your right hand on your head and grip your nose with the left. Well, what next, says I. He likely look at you as if he doesn't understand and pretend to shut the door. And what will I do then? Put your foot inside and say, it's a walk next that. Then if he opens the door again, reach up your hand and take his ear and pull it. And that's what we call the grip. Pull his ear, says I. Oh, aye, says he. But you didn't need to take the ear with you. And what will I do then, says I. I don't already tell you any more, says he. The man will show you what comes next. And here, we're at the college. We had a deal more talk than I had time to tell you. He took me through the whole tin, and at least I said that I want to keep him off his work any longer. He done very well, says I, and I'm sure I'm muckle obliged to you. The first time you're in our country, dinna get by without calm, and we'll be able to give you 2 or 3 pretties and a drop of buttermilk at any rate. Good morning to you, and I held out my hand to shake it with him. Good day, says he, and I'll only charge you 5 shillings. 5 shillings for what, says I. For your drive, says he. Preserve me, says I. Didn't I think you were giving me a seal for nothing? Oh, says he, you man wait till you're a mason before I could do that. I would charge you more, only you're going to join. Well, says I wish you'd tell me it sooner, for indeed I can't spare the money. Will you take 12 shillings, sir? The end of it was that they had to pay him the 5 shillings. Although it went in my heart to do it. Whoever, he cheered me up by telling me he would make far more than that if I ever got into the Mason's Lodge. I was getting hungry by this time, for I had took an early breakfast, and just by chance I saw a house where I had a notion I would get something to eat, and then I went. The place was near full of men eating, and they were feared of missing the train. I sat down, and a nice young lass came up to me, and she says to she, "What'll you have, sir?" "Oh, give me pretties," says I. "There's nothing like pretties. Truffles, if you please." "Very well," says she, "and what will you take with them?" "A pickle sod," says I. "Have you anything better?" "Oh," says she, "we have roast turkey, ham, chops, roast beef, and mutton." "Health is waiting for you," says I. "That's not a bad meat hiss you hae here, my lass." "Did you say roast beef?" says she, laughing. "No," says I. "I said you were in a brave meat house. But I will take some roast beef." "Large or small?" says she. "Oh, large, if you please." And away she went. I thought it were a big looking dinner what she brought me, and says I, "Is that a large roast beef, dear?" "Yes, sir," says she. "You asked for a large plate." "Oh, the plate's big enough," says I, "but it's the beef I'm going to eat, and it's no very big." "And you didn't order a small one, for I think I needed a pair of specs to see it. I very soon cleared my plate. Then the lass come back and says to me, "Will you have any dessert?" "Only what?" says I. "Dessert," says she. "And what's that?" says I. "Well, apple pie, or rice, or plum pudding, or tapioca," says she. "Tappy what?" says I. "What's the name of that last thing?" "Tapioca," says she. "I'll take some of that," says I. It was real nice, it was. "How much is all that?" says I, when I had done. "A shilling," says she. "But pay at the door." And there's another terrible pretty wee lass and a wee box packing the money. Just as I pulled the shilling out of my pocket, the thought struck me that this lass might ken something about the Freemasons and all. And that I might get my dinner without paying for it. So I laughed in her face, and putting one hand on the top of my head, I dropped my nose with the other. "You ken what I mean," says I. For I thought by her smile that it was all right. She shook her head and laughed at me. "What?" says I. "Do you not understand that?" and reversed the sign. She just laughed the bear. So I seen that she kent nothing about it. I paid me shilling and then went back and took a donner through the streets. I would never be able to tell you all that I saw, but I maun tell you about my visit to the Masons' Lodge. When I come to the place the carman told me about, down in Arthur Square, just for instance the theatre, I made my way up the stairs, ever say hey, and I dumped at the door that hard that my knee dimbled. I was aiming by a big man that had a beautiful apron and collar on him, shining like gold. He looked at me. I made the sign. "What do you want?" says he. "I'm a recht," thinks I. And with that I made the sign backwards. He glared at me as if I'd been an escaped lunatic, and I declare if I hadn't put my foot in the door, he would have had it shut in my face. "It's a whack nicht," says I. He laughed at that, and seeing me pushing in, he stooped his head down as if he hadn't heard me. "It's a whack nicht," says I, pretty loud, thinking that he was hard of hearing maybe. "Ye told me that twice," says he, "but I want something else." "Oh, well," says I can gie you the grub." I wondered should I put it hard. So I got out of his ear. He gave a jump and a gulder at me, as if I'd struck him. I was that nervous, I nipped ever hard. It was my turn to roar it next, for the next thing I felt was a shut fist between me een. He sent me head or heels down the stair, and I seen more stairs nor I had ever seen for a good while. I carried myself up, and without ever looking at me, I made for the train, thinking in me own mind that if I wanted into a Masons' Lodge, I'd hate to set about it some other way. I wonder for how news gets out. I wasn't 2 days home till everybody around the countryside kent about my adventures in Belfast, the visit to the Freemason Lodge, and everything else. Jimmy Vignari and one of the boys made serious fun of me, and many a time I could no help but lose my temper with them. Whenever one of the fellows would meet me, he'd begin maying like a goat, and then he'd clap one hand on his head and catch his nose by the other.